I allow myself to be my best self, to be creative, and to let go. I allow myself to live an elevated life, to stay focused and clear, always moving towards a goal. I allow myself to let go and to learn to live and to grow. I allow myself time and space. I allow. I allow myself to feel, to express myself, and to use the talents that I possess. I allow myself to make love out of the things that are not love. I allow myself to be a creative, live in the moment, Yes, 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 yes. Good evening, good day, good morning, good whatever. Welcome to a special session. What's eating you? The song you're listening to is the original version of I Allow, featuring Azare on the vocals. That is the original version, which was done for God Power 2. It's part of the soundtrack. But there is a brand new version of I Allow that is being released, I think tomorrow. It's going to be for those who order the book from our website. You're going to get the new version of I Allow and one other amazing track that will be a download. We're going to talk about that just a little bit. I'd like to thank all of you for being here. Wow, we got a good crowd tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who's here for the first time? If you're on here for the first time, please put in the chat that you're in here for the first time on one of these sessions. And if you're here, you're a VIP, you've been here before, you're a veteran, you're a special person, let us know who you are, where you are, and how you heard about Dr. B, Elevation Time. Was it IG? Was it one of the radio shows or interviews that we have done in the past? Or how did you find out? Did it pop up in the dream state? Did you just wake up and something told you to go to YouTube? How did you get here? Who are you? How do you get here? How did you get here? And what is your purpose? A lot of folks are having issues with what their purpose is. And it's because of the way we have been programmed with so many different things, so many different ideas about life and what we should be and who we should be and what we should be doing. And a lot of this comes from people outside of yourself. But the true purpose that we have within us is deep within ourselves. It's built in originally in the program. But we, just because of the way things are, we end up following the leader or following the friends or following the family or following the politics or the religion. So we end up doing things sometimes that may not have anything to do with who we truly are. Did you know that that is one of the main contributors to disease? Not being or doing what you should be, who you should be being, and what you should be doing. And it's interesting because we're in a society that doesn't necessarily teach this. Now, there are certain groups of society that does teach this for the children about their purpose and their possibilities. And, if you go to mainstream school, they have this thing where they just program you to be what they want you to be and be the best student and get an A. But that may not be, the best for you. The educational system is really interesting. And the educational system for a lot of folks is eating us alive. It's draining our energy. It's taking away our vital essence because we're just going along with these systems that sometimes they don't even make sense. Some of the things that you learned in school, in fact, a lot of what you learned in school is not even accurate. It's political. It's got to do with, social conditioning. It's got to do with creating a mind of a person that will just go along and get along and just work hard and retire. So we're going to talk a little bit about disease tonight. And this is a session that's different than most of the sessions I do because normally we're very careful around this subject. But tonight, since we just did the radio show, Carl Nelson, and we were just on Black Magic. Is that the name of the show now? Didn't he change the name of the show? But we decided tonight that we would do something special in lieu of the release of my new book, What's Eating You. So if you're here for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. They call me Dr. Be Serious, Doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a part of the modern medical system. I am not trained by the AMA, the American medical system. I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not a nurse. I am not trained by this system to be what they told me to be. I have been being on purpose since day one. And sometimes that means that we have to be a bit of a revolutionary, you know. Um, wow, that's deep. To be free, you've got to break the law. What is the law? Who creates the law? You know, legal has to do it, but being part of a corporate system. When they say something is legal, and if something is illegal, it almost says that, well, it's not a part of the corporate system. It's not part of the design and the programming around, the way we are conditioned. So breaking the law becomes a deep thing. You want to do right. That's the thing. We want to do right. We want to do what our parents said, or what the leaders said, or otherwise you're going against the system and you're becoming a black sheep. How many black sheep out there? We heard that the black sheep was something that was not good. But the black sheep is the one that's breaking off, jumping over the fence. The black sheep is an apostate or an apostle, one that doesn't follow the mainstream. Our medical system is based on being a part of a mainstream system that may not be based in the best, how should I say, the most natural way of healing the body. Now, modern medicine, before we get started, is important if there's an emergency. If you are involved in an emergency, then you need to go directly to the hospital. Emergency medicine is really good in America. Really good. They can put you back together, and you've been, it's been in a terrible situation, and they can figure out how to get you going. And some of the best doctors work in emergency medicine. Now, when it comes to maintenance of the human body, a lot of the modern medical system is not based around helping you stay healthy. That's up to you. This is something that you have to do. This is a system that you have to put within yourself, a program that says, I'm going to do the maintenance. I'm going to do the due diligence daily to stay as healthy as possible. And not just go with these health trends, because there's so many health trends and different diets and things, but there's one that's especially for you. And a lot of us are not doing what we naturally should be doing. We're not being who we should be being, so we're stressed. We're following a system that can stress us out. I want to read something from my book. Here's a copy of my book here, What's Eating You. This is the author's demo copy. The real copies will be here. For those of you who have ordered books, they're on the way. We haven't received them yet. We didn't realize how long it takes to actually get the books. We were so excited about putting the book out. We got the book. The book is released, but the book was officially released on Wednesday. That was what? Is that yesterday? Yes, yesterday. But now we're waiting for the copies to actually arrive so we can ship them out. So if you bought them through our website, it looks like it'll be at least 2 weeks before we have the actual books. And for those of you who are coming to the event that we're doing on March 1st with Billy Carson, Unlocking Divinity Codes, we will have some books there. We'll be doing some signatures, and there'll be lots of people for you to meet, and you'll be able to tap into something that is going to change your life forever. I just want to read something, and this has to do with education. It also ties into what we're talking about, the idea of disease and sickness. Yeah, March 1st. I'm sorry, March of the book was. Somebody's asking something. Yeah, the book was officially released yesterday, but the event that we're doing on March 1st in Atlanta live It's called Unlocking Divinity Codes. With it's basically like God Power too. For those of you who were at God Power, or those of you who heard about God Power, it's God Power 3, not 2. We did 1, 2. This will be 3. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit too. But I need you to read this and hear this, because this is so important. This sets us up right here. This is the setup. This is why we look at medicine in the medical system and disease the way we do. In the early 1900s, the Carnegie Foundation commissioned Abraham Flexner to create a report about medical schools and hospitals. This was cloaked as a concern for the quality of healthcare education in the United States. The story goes that the Rockefeller and Cargill drug companies used this report to fund only those in the medical business who exclusively prescribed pharmaceutical drugs. Guess whose drugs? Guess whose drugs the Carnegie and Rockefeller said that you have to be in the medical business. Historians say this created an all-powerful political and medical coalition that suppressed natural remedies, treatments, and holistic medicines, many of which were highly effective. This created a dictatorship medical monopoly that vilified any and all natural healing methods, whether they were effective or not. The average person was forced to comply, became brainwashed, and became afraid of natural treatments. They surrendered their innate spirituality and lost their discernment and rationality. I'm reading from the book, from my new book, What's Eating You. This is from chapter, what chapter is this? Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is called A Bittersweet Bite of History and the Western Medicine Machine. I'm going to read a little more. They say the Flexner Report was created and used to coerce and scare much of the world. They crafted written proof that this new monopoly was the best way to ensure quality health care. People who administered natural medicine and those who were people who administered natural medicine and those who used it were often forced to hide out or jailed for practicing medicine without a license. Many natural healers and spiritual guides have been labeled nutcases, snake oil salesmen, witches, sorcerers, and demons. Lots of people have historically gone missing, been tortured, burned alive for exercising freedom, living naturally, and breaking religious or corporate laws. Whoa. This is what I was saying earlier about breaking the law. These people made it where it was unlawful for you to be involved in any type of natural medicine, even mothering. You got to take your child to the doctor and, let the doctor do the mothering. Just a little more. According to history, a few greedy parasites, these are people, virtually eliminated all independent medical schools, drugless doctors, hospitals, clinics, healing houses, and natural health centers. They lobbied, lied, and made up laws and statistics that made it impossible for those who were not white and male to even go to medical schools. Yes. The report went so far as to suggest that Black people, I'm going to read it again. The report went so far to suggest that Black people should only learn to work in the hygiene department because they themselves were unclean and had more germs and parasites than white people. This is the Flexner Report. Because of racism and sexism, the Flexner sham blocked up to 50,000 or more Black potential doctors and women from practicing medicine. When a Black health community is being served by mostly male doctors and nurses who don't look like them. The community exhibits more stress as a whole because of a history of mistrust and mistreatment. So, you see the doctor walk in, you get white coat syndrome right away because you don't trust what has happened here. How this male dominated thing in the system of control is supposed to be telling you the truth about your body, and you're here laying on the table naked, and the oppressor walks in. This causes stress on the community as a whole, whether black or white, which decreases the chances of healing and thriving for all people. Black people live longer in areas with more doctors who look like them. I'm going to read just a little more. It's very obvious. The Flexner Racist Report was designed to improve healthcare outcomes for white people only while making drug companies filthy rich. Just imagine the advancements and innovations that could have been achieved worldwide if it had not been for global narcissism and greed. Wow. How many of you have heard of this Flexner report? Now, you would say, well, this was just something they created for the medical business. But no, it ended up infecting the whole educational system, because even when you study education, like kindergarten and grade school and middle school, who created all that? This system that they created had to do with a few people forcing the greater population to believe in things that might not necessarily be true, but they're important for these people who are like parasites to get people to agree to give their bodies away to somebody you don't know, to trust somebody else with your health, to trust somebody else with your mindset, with your thinking. Everything from the mathematical system that we use today, the English language, everything from science, all of it has been twisted, controlled by a small group of people who basically see this as a slave society. They'd like to make all the money, have all the power, huge egos, while everybody else just goes along and believes in whatever they tell them. So when we look at major disease today, things like cancer, diabetes, and we look at Alzheimer's and dementia, high blood pressure, mental, physical disease, sexual dysfunctions. We start looking at all these things today, and they're looking for a cure, they tell you, right? Look at the Cancer Society. They've been looking for cures. How long they've been looking for cures? Anybody know how long the Cancer Society's been around? Anybody know how long the MS Society has been around? The diabetes associations and societies. Has anybody found a cure? What happens if they find a cure for something, say, like cancer? Do you know what happens? What happens to the business and the businesses that are all about looking for a cure? You know how many billions of dollars, trillions of dollars go through these organizations' hands every year? You have any idea? Why would you be looking for a cure when you're getting paid to not look for one, but to make people feel and make people donate to one and wear ribbons and all these little things? It's crazy. If you go to the diabetes, the National Diabetes website, I can't remember the name of it now. They have a list of foods for diabetics and of things that they can do to help their diabetes. When you read the list, most of the things on the list are what causes diabetes. In the least of, they keep telling you to cut down on sugar, cut down on sugar. Sugar may not be the root of diabetes. They're starting to say now, well, diabetes is actually the clogging of the islets in the pancreas and certain viruses that attack the cell and cause the cell receptors not to be able to notice or recognize that there's too much sugar or not enough sugar in the system. Because the cell receptors are like little antennas. They read the environment to see what's going on outside the cell. The cells are just like people. They move away from things that are dangerous. They eat. They have a whole system that's like they're like beings. So they're always moving towards something that's healthy. But if they live in an environment that is unhealthy, and if you're living in an environment where your mind has been programmed to believe that these people are here to help you, and some, I'm not saying doctors are bad. I'm not telling you that. I'm saying that some doctors know that they are basically controlled by drug companies, pharmaceutical companies. I went to a doctor just recently just to get the check, get my blood check. I do it every once in a while, see how I'm doing. And the doctor came back and was shocked. She says, we might need to do another blood. We might need to take some more blood. What do you mean take more blood? You took 3 vials. I mean, what's going on? Your blood is surprisingly and unnaturally healthy. She said this. She kept looking and looking. And she starts looking at my age and she starts looking at my race, because for my age and for my race, I'm supposed to not have natural blood. I am not supposed to be this healthy. So then she says, have you taken all your vaccinations? I says, no. She said, well, why not? I said, because when I was young, whenever I took vaccinations, I was very sick. So my mother told me, my first doctor, my real nurse, my real nurturer, that we're not going to do the vaccinations anymore, not with you, because I've got violently sick. In fact, it seemed like whatever disease they were vaccinating me for, I got as soon as they gave me the shot. I guess they shot it up in me. I got shot with the shot of what they're trying to say the shot is supposed to stop. But I guess they are giving you just a little bit of the disease. Oh, it's broken particles. It's really not dangerous. It's supposed to help you so that your body can recognize the disease. Wow. The question is this science valid today? And I know there was a time when this was valid, but we have to look and do research again to see if this is actually valid. Who came up with this stuff? Is this Carnegie and what's his name? Rockefeller? Cargill? Who came up with these tests? The testing systems, even to find out what's normal for you. She said, well, I do see one thing here. Your blood pressure is really high. In fact, you should go directly to the hospital. I said, how high is it? Very high. She says, well, have you found that it was high before? I says, yeah, about at 9 years old, 7 or 9 years old, somewhere around there. They said I had high blood pressure. I've always had it. Well, do you have lightheaded? Do you have headaches? Are you under stress? I've been under stress for 300 some years. Ever since I've been here and somebody took over the land, I've been under stress. So yeah, my blood pressure is high. And then here you come in here with a white coat on, right? With Google on the computer. Yeah, the lady had the nerve to have a computer open with Google on it. You're going to let me see that you about to Google whatever's going on with me? But now you can't Google anything because there's nothing wrong with me. You see, because I'm healthy. Then she told me she wanted to give me some medicine so that I won't get sick. Yes. And then she mentioned a few medicines that I could take that will help me not get sick. I Googled the side effects and found out, they call them side effects because you think that, the side effect is not the main effect. It's just a little effect that could happen on the side. No, it's the effects. The effects. They're not side effects. They need to be B-side effects because they're right beside whatever this thing is supposed to do. I mean, one of the medicines the lady was telling me that I should take, and I don't have a disease, it causes swelling of the lip, tongue, and throat. And if you have swelling of the lip, tongue, and throat, have y'all heard the commercials? Call your doctor immediately. Well, how am I going to do that? My lips, my throat, my tongue, Hey there. Hey there. I get 911 right there. Hey there. What is it? I guess I call 911 and they know that the guy's talking like that or the woman or whoever, and they have the swollen lips, tongue, and throat and can't communicate. They probably took one of these medicines. And then one of the side effects for this medicine that was going to keep me healthy was death. I might die. I'm healthy right now. This is gangster. And you want to know why? It's not your doctor's fault. Don't be going off on your doctor. Act, be patient and be calm. Be graceful and honorable. It's the Flexner report. They created a report. They got this guy Flexner, who was already a racist. He didn't like women. He didn't like men. He didn't like people. To go create a report. It's not a law. It's not a real document that says that this is scientific proof. It's a report. This guy is a reporter. They said, go find more evidence that people need to do pharmaceuticals. That's going to be the legal, most accepted thing. And also go hunt down every herbalist, every naturalist, midwives. Make it illegal for them to do this. We used to have a thing called drugless doctors. Doctors that didn't give drugs. They go talk to you about nutrition, exercise, and things like that. They're drugless doctors, but they got a doctor's degree. They don't give drugs. Now, it's like the doctor wanted to give me drugs, and she just told me I had the best blood she's ever seen, basically. They never saw blood like mine. Even when the lady was, taking it out, the phlebotomist, when she was pulling the blood out, she kept looking at the vials. This is really rich, beautiful blood. This is some of the best blood I've seen. I'm like, really? She said, yes. How healthy is your blood? Have you had a blood test to go see what's really going on? I'm not telling you should do it, because a lot of these tests can be off too, because the testing facilities don't have any one standard. So a lot of us have been proclaimed to be sick with something that we may not be. Maybe my blood pressure, that's my blood pressure. But I am a black man. I'm supposed to have high blood pressure. So the lady says, yes, we found something. Your blood pressure is really high. Are you dizzy right now? Nope. Been like this since I was 9 years old. I said, well, why don't you leave the room for a few minutes and come back and I'll bring the blood pressure down. She said, well, what are you going to do? I said, let me do my thing. The lady leaves. She comes back, puts the thing on. She looks. She does it again. The thing is choking the hell out of my arm. That thing squeezes like, if you ain't got high blood pressure, you're going to have it after they squeeze that thing down on your arm. You know what I'm saying? Because survival kicks in. She about to squeeze my arm. It's about to pop off. She looks at me and she says, what did you do? What do you mean, what did I do? How did you bring your blood pressure down? So I thought it down. You thought your blood pressure down? I said, yes, you can do that too. It's based on my mind. I got white coat syndrome. The white coats are coming, and it's like, where are we in war? It's a battle. You know what I'm saying? And you walk in the door, a lot of times your blood pressure goes up. A lot of people have high blood pressure because they're in a system where they know they're going to get shot and prodded. They're going to get declothed and greased, and they're going to get prescribed something. And fear is going to get them to jump into the Flexner system. Flexner don't like people. Remember this now. Flexner don't like people. I remember when I was studying with a Chinese doctor at one point, and he says, if somebody comes in here with a tumor inside, we see a tumor, or they have some disease that's really bad, we don't tell them. You know why? Because we don't want them to be stressed and create more of the disease cells. So we go make them some tea and tell them to do these exercises and come back in a month. When the doctor is telling you what they feel is wrong with you, because what's happening is they're looking at symptomology, the symptoms. And most of the medicines are, they're going to what? Treat the symptom. So if you have something, they may not be able to look for the root of it because they don't know how, or they've been paid not to, or not paid. You don't get paid by finding the root of a problem. You get paid by just treating the symptoms and keeping the people coming. It's a money thing. You got to read this Flexner report. I get into it in this book. I haven't even talked about it. I just read a little bit of it, but I really, this blows your mind, and how this affects your mental, spiritual, energetic, and cosmic self. Just being a part of this system, being born in this system. Those of you who had children at home, you know what I'm saying? This is a wonderful thing. Those of you who were born at home, because a lot of times, the system is so backwards. It's not backwards. It's greedy. They get mad. They don't like you having a baby at home. Why? Because it's not safe. The mother could die. The mother could die at the hospital. You know how many people die having a baby at the hospital, especially if you're not the right color or not, you ain't got the right insurance, or you don't have the right hairdo and the right handshake. You don't know what could happen up in there. And, the doctor is the authority. One time the doctor said, well, you're going to have the baby on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. What if the baby starts coming at 9 o'clock on Monday? Well, they give you this stuff called Pitocin. I think that's what it's called. They want to slow down the birth because the doctor is out chilling or on the golf course or having fun. They want to tell you when you're going to have the baby and how you're going to have the baby, when to push and when not to push, and how to breathe and lay down flat, when we're not using gravity to take the baby out and let the baby come out naturally, or water that's the body temperature, 98.6 degrees, where the baby could just naturally come on out. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. You may say, well, Dr. B says don't go. I'm not telling you. I'm saying I am attempting to wake up your mindset right now. Because from the minute you get here, from the minute you come into this world, until you go out, if you're not careful, you will be forced to believe in things that you don't understand. And then you suffer. Is that Stevie Wonder? We're attempting to get some sort of stability and some knowledge about what's going on here. The book, What's Eating You, was written to help give you knowledge about yourself so we could remember how to be superhumans. And it's not even superhuman, natural humans. Never mind being superhuman. We just need to get back to natural humans. We're living in an unnatural society with unnatural beliefs and unnatural education. It's basically a deducation. This book is going to help to re-educate you. It's not a big book. It's like 240 pages. You see? Lots of information in here that has never been written this way before. How many of you have got your book, What's Eating You? Go to elevationtime.com. In fact, let me put this up here right now so you can go and get your book if you'd like. Elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. In fact, I'm going to put a discount code, not for the book itself, but for everything else on the website, because the book is a part of a whole different website. It's a whole different system. So some folks say, well, how can I get a discount on the book? The book is discounted. Okay. Now, let me also add this in so that when you go to the website, and because I'm going to list some products, I'm going to show you, I'm going to educate you about some things today that are not part of the modern medical system. Some of it is going to be, just a reminder for a lot of you, because I see a lot of folks in the audience who are herbalists and teachers and naturalists and nurturers. Natural mothers are nurturers. Mothers naturally kind of come up with stuff to do. There's no template to being a parent. How many parents out there? Did you know that the prenatal vitamins, most prenatal vitamins are toxic? So you want to know what's wrong with you, what's eating you, what's sucking your energy. For a lot of people, the prenatal vitamins that your mother took or that you're taking have so many heavy metals and chemicals and glues, binders. They actually have glue, they have asphalt, a lot of them. They have these chemicals that wreak havoc on your system. Are you aware of this? If not, it's time to get educated, re-educated. That's what the book is for. I'm going to put this in here. We're going to make a new discount code just for today for folks that would like to visit the website. The discount code is going to be called The Book. How you spell the? I wrote it backwards. They say I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I see things and hear things backwards. How many of you out there see things backwards, hear things backwards? How many of you out there are kind of backwards? I'm saying backwards based on the mainstream. What they say backwards is you read a book, you go to the back. You see things in a different way. And they say that's abnormal. He's abnormal. That's what they told me. I was dyslexic. I don't see things normally. Things are all screwed up because I'm out of order, because I have chosen at some point to be a revolutionary and not to go along with the system. It's going to take courage, y'all, to become a revolutionary. It's going to take courage to break away from a system that is not serving you. You're being served. You're being eaten alive, energetically, mentally, physically, spiritually. Are you ready to break free and take over your body? A lot of folks have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, and pressure situations because they're under pressure and stress. We're going to talk about that in just a few more minutes. Yeah. Somebody says, well, Dr. B, he's hilariously serious. Yes. I haven't cracked a joke yet. I don't know how to crack jokes. I just know how to take a lighthearted approach of a serious subject, because you're going to have to laugh. Laughing is one of the most important medicines. If you are dealing with one of the major health challenges, ask yourself, how often do you just laugh? Maybe watch comedy and laugh. Just go get on the swings and have fun. Did you know getting on the swings, if you can, go get on the swings at the playground, is one of the most healing things you could do? Take your shoes off too, so that you have to walk on the earth to walk over to the swing set, which helps to ground you. And when the electrical ions, the static electricity that's built up in your body, when it comes out of your feet and goes and is drawn into the earth sends these energetic ions, these electrical waves up into your feet, which balance your entire body. Just walking on the ground. Then go get on the swings. And the first thing the body says is, oh my gosh, we're children again, because the subconscious mind does not know that you're a grown up. It says we're a child because we're at the playground. Let's play. You've been at the work ground every day of the week for the month. You're at the work ground, working and toiling, hoping you can get some days off in a vacation. Go to the playground. The minute you get there, something starts happening in your mind, and your cellular structure remembers what it's like to be a child when you were healthier. I like to get on the swings because I was a professional swinger when I was young. Now a swinger is a whole different thing. You're a swinger? Hey, they're having a swingers meeting. I'm talking about the swing set. Okay. And when you get on the swing set, you don't even have to swing hard. Just swing a little bit back and forth. It begins to change the frequency of your blood flow, your heart rate. It begins to connect your brain, your heart, and your gut. And when you have heart-brain coherence, all of a sudden things begin to work on what? Repair. There are cells and there are genes in your body that repair broken genes. Did you know this? Did you know that? It's like when you break a branch off of a tree. depending on where you break it. Like if you break it where the little Y is, where there's two branches and you break it right here, there's a little bud that begins to grow from that area and create a new branch. Where there's buds in your body, like this is an analogy. There's like buds in your cells that are waiting for something to be broken, and the body can help to repair itself if you give it what it naturally needs. What does the body naturally need? Nutrition, especially minerals. The body is looking for minerals. Did you know that if you had all the minerals in your system, you wouldn't be that hungry? In fact, lately, I decided, since the doctors told me I had great blood, to make my blood even better. I haven't been eating very much because I've been drinking these mineral shakes. I've been making minerals. I've been, finding the best minerals in sea salts and drinking water with a little bit of Celtic sea salt in it. And now that I know my body is really doing well, I said, I'm going to keep it up and I'm going to do even more. You got to get excited about life. You got to become a swinger. You got to go get on the playground. What else they got on the playground? Go out there and have fun. Get on the slide. As a grown person, you'll be laughing. The other children are laughing. People are looking at you weird. The other adults think that you've lost your mind. But the mind that you have has been programmed by things like the Flexner Report and the reports that they created and wrote about education, how you should learn, who you should be, what your purpose is, why you're here, how much money you should make, who you should marry. Think about how much control there is on your mindset. Now, this is the root of dis-ease. It's stress. And a lot of us have been under stress so long, we don't even call it stress. It's just normal. It's just our regular lives. I remember I went to the beach in Jamaica and couldn't even relax. I had my work boots on and everything. Because I feel like something's got to be done. I'm on the beach looking for people that I can, they might need a subconscious alignment. I wonder how healthy they are. I'm ready to offer them herbs. In Jamaica, where the whole island is herbs, even the taxi driver knew about herbs and is taking herbs, and almost all the natural people there are using herbs because they grow naturally, and it's part of their culture to use herbs and minerals and food and nutrition as what? Your medical doctor. My doctor live in the woods. What's his name? Herbal medicine. My doctor grew on the bush. My doctor is inside the fruit. My doctor is in callaloo. Hey, y'all know what callaloo is? How many of y'all eat callaloo? I know y'all eating kale. I don't know, this kale thing. One day y'all going to find out about this kale thing, this new thing. I'm not going to say too much about it because they're already waiting for me to say it so they can come get me. Callaloo, also known as amaranth, has more minerals than almost any other green. Callaloo is a dish they make in the Caribbean, but the plant is called amaranth. Let's start by finding amaranth. They have amaranth grains. You can get amaranth bread. Amaranth has so many vital nutrients, and it has so many minerals in it that your body starts remembering how to be healthy. Because this is what it's about. Your body is waiting to fix itself, but it needs the minerals. It needs the nutrients. It needs nutrients that are natural. Some of your herbs are not even totally natural. Like golden seal. Everybody's in the golden seal. Oh boy, golden seal. We used to be a big thing. Golden seal is a combination or a hybridized version of berberine and Oregon grapefruit. One of the indigenous teachers that I used to study with broke that down. And once you understand that even some of your herbs have been crossed and played with. Now, nature does cross some things naturally. Some of the plants, a lot of the plants here have been crossed naturally. If they're from the same family, they might be able to join and make something new. But a lot of things have been done based on finance, based on the system that we're in. So some things should have never been put together that were forced to be put together. Like some relationships, some of y'all should have never been together. Talking about they broke your heart and you broke up and it was a terrible divorce. Well, actually, if you would have been in your right mind, eating the right food, having your feet grounded, your mind grounded, if you'd got out of your head and stopped looking at things from this outside esoteric point of view that was given to you, you may have known in the beginning that this wasn't going to work out well or wasn't going to work out long. You want to be married forever. Oh boy. And forever and ever and ever. First of all, there may be no such thing as forever. Nothing lasts forever. But a lot of us, we mate based on how we eat. We eat together. You go on dates. You see, you're dating. You're putting a date on things. How long and what food we're going to eat. And sometimes, especially men, we find out what the woman likes. She likes lobsters. We're going to go to Lobster City. And after that, we can go to the Crab Shack, and we're going to go down to, the Sin City and eat shrimps because that's what she likes. He wants to impress her. The man does everything he can to impress her. And he becomes very impressive. And she likes the way he talks, and he has a certain way of talking. And, he sounds very intelligent, or he's very street. You know what I'm saying? I like that street edge. You know what I'm saying? He's a gangster. He can protect me. Depending on what you like, it has a lot to do with with who you are, what you're eating, how you're living, what environment you come from. All of that has been controlled. It's been controlled by the oppressor. And who controls the oppressor? Superbug parasites. We're going to get into this tonight. Let's talk a little bit about parasites, because your mainstream doctor may not be teaching this. Where's my book? Okay, let me hold on one second. Somebody brought me a book, Medical Parasitology by Markle and Vogue. This is an old book. You see this? A lady brought this to me. I was doing a lecture. I want to see if I can see what year. This is the 4th edition. Do they say the year? Here we go. Copyright 1958. Copyright again in 1965. Medical Parasitology. A nurse brought me this. And she says, she was an older lady, and she says, when we were in nursing school, we had to study parasites. This is, like she says, in the 50s and early 60s. Doctors used to study parasites. Because if you could help eliminate the parasites, you could get to the root of most illnesses. Because the average illness is based on parasites eating your nutrition, sucking your energy, your electricity, controlling your mindset and your emotions, pooping and peeing, peeing in your body. They leave a lot of waste. So now you have toxins in your body. But also we're eating toxic foods. A lot of your quote unquote vegan foods, right? The ones that are, what they call them, plant-based. That means that it's based in an industrial plant. You think it was based on a plant. It's based on being created in a plant. Plant-based. Full of genetically modified organisms. Huh? What is an organism? Isn't an organism a living thing? You mean to tell me when you see the word GMO or the letters GMO, you don't think about that? Genetically modified. They changed the genes. Organisms. Almost every one of these plant-based foods was made in a laboratory, then recreated and mass-produced in an industrial plant. So they didn't lie to you when they said it was plant-based, because y'all love these words, plant-based. I eat plant-based. Yeah, a lot of us mentally have been, our minds have been plant-based. Uh-oh, this is crazy. I'm sitting here, my phone is buzzing. It's CVS. I tell you, I went to the doctor the other day to get a blood test. The doctor has prescribed some medicines for me, and CVS says it has it. I told the doctor I didn't want anything. But I guess she got a quota, you know what I'm saying? You know, she got to do something. So they got some medicines for me to go pick up for the nothing that I have. And if I was living in fear, and if I wasn't sure of who I am, and if I didn't have my purpose, I would go down there and take that medicine and become sick. Plant-based. Who's planting? What are they planting in your head? What's planted in your head about life, about parasites? You mean to tell me back in the day, they knew that most diseases were going to be caused by parasites, toxins, fungus, genetically modified organisms? That one is a big, deep one to me when I broke it down. You say it all the time, there's GMOs. They played with the genes and they modified them to create a new organism. That's legal. That's legal, because as long as you do that, you're going to end up in the hands of Flexner and them. You know Flexner and them? You're going to end up at the doctor, and they're going to make money, because a lot of those same people that own the drug companies and the oil companies also own grocery stores and farms and seeds and seed factories. They got seed factories. You know, they get you sick at the top, so you fall down, so you end up in the system, because they're creating food that's eating you. So we're talking about high blood pressure, low blood pressure, heart disease, dementia, diabetes, cancers. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. Why is it getting worse and worse? Because they're not looking for a cure. They're looking for a cause. And they're going to what? Push the cause. What is the cause? The cause is to get more money and to get you to spend more and to get you some good health insurance. Don't worry, you don't have to pay for it. You just do a copay. In the book, I talk about a man and a woman that came from Texas to come see me to do a consultation. It's there's people that will fly and get hotel rooms to come sit down with Dr. B and do a consultation. By the way, are you willing to do that? And they didn't care about how much it cost, because they knew what it was going to cost not to see me was the concern. What's it going to cost not to go get some consultation about your health? What's it going to cost you not to get re-educated about your health so you can take care of yourself? We want stuff so cheap. We just want to go on Google. I found out all about it on Instagram, or I found out about it on AI. I actually asked AI, I've been asking AI some questions that I know. I've been asking it to lie. And it does. Did you know that the answer that it gives you is scraped from a whole bunch of information, and it may not be the actual fact? And you're going through, you think you're in health and wellness, but actually you may be in wealth and hellness, because it's about AI lying to you about who you are. It's not a human thing. It's not natural. It's brand new. It's going to tell you what you need to hear, what you like. Oh, that's a very good question, Dr. B. You're very intelligent. And it goes and scrapes and finds this stuff so fast, then you think that you have really done something. You're asking the machine. Haven't you seen these movies where the machines take over? They always take over in the movies. That's what The Matrix was about, the machines taking over. The electronics are the new parasites. I talk about that in the book. What you can do to stop the parasites from eating you. Dr. B, are you going on and on? No, we're going to get there. I'm going to mention some of the illnesses that we're dealing with today that are popular, and we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do to reset your body and re-educate yourself about your health. And I'm going to give you some things that could be shocking. My highest choice is that you'll be open-minded and just listen for a second and not think that you know it all because you got Google and you know somebody and you studied some herbs and, you take vitamins and you're, plant-based. I'm going to read to you from a part of the book where we talk about the parasites. It's called Let's Meet the Parasites. Parasites come in many forms: microscopic, visible, physical, mental, and even energetic. They can live in food, water, soil, air, and sometimes inside our very thoughts. They enter through what we eat, what we think, what we drink, what we breathe, and what we believe. Some are ancient biological hitchhikers that have evolved alongside humanity, learning to hide, adapt, and feed off our nutrients, minerals, and mental energy. Others exist in the unseen realms, energetic or emotional parasites that thrive on fear, distraction, and disconnection from spirit. Page 239, y'all. While some infections are silent, others reveal themselves through fatigue, anxiety, cravings, inflammation, confusion, or loss of inspiration. Each parasite has its own agenda and even teaches us what happens when we lose sovereignty over our internal terrain. We're talking about education now. So let's go over just a few of the parasites. Tapeworms are among the best known intestinal invaders. Their flat ribbon-like bodies can grow up to 33 feet long inside the intestines, absorbing nutrients directly from the food we eat. This is why many people affected with tapeworms remain hungry no matter how much they eat, because the parasite gets fed first. Parasite larvae can migrate beyond the gut through the bloodstream, liver, lungs, and even the brain, sometimes forming cysts. Cysts or mistaken, which are just mistaken for tumors. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to give you little bites. Tanmia stagnata. If I'm not pronouncing these correctly, please forgive me. I'm not this kind of literary scientist. It's found in beef. Tinea cilium, found in pork. Diphyllobatrium latum, found in fish. Common symptoms of tapeworms: nausea, weakness, diarrhea, abdominal pain, constant hunger, no appetite, weight loss, fatigue, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, seeing segments or thread-like worms in the stool. May cause neurocysticercosis, leading to headaches, memory loss, confusion, seizures, and extreme cases, death. Giardia lamblia, the invisible water invader, thrives in untreated water, survives regular chlorination. Did you hear that? Causes severe diarrhea, cramps, nutrient loss. It can be misdiagnosed as the stomach flu. It has a partner called Cryptosporidium, the waterborne trickster. Originates from cattle farm runoff. Do y'all know what cattle farm runoff is? Go look that up. Originates from cattle farm runoff, resists conventional water treatment, and weakens the immune system, causing chronic intestinal distress. The fluke worm, the stealth and assassin. Fluke worms are found in pork, chicken, fish, and beef. They invade the liver, pancreas, lungs, and bloodstream, disrupting organ function like cancer, or linked to cancer, diabetes, and autoimmune disorders. This one, and I'm going to attempt to say this name, and please, I sometimes mess it up. Entomoeba, histolytica. The flesh-eating amoeba causes ambiosis. Symptoms: bloody diarrhea, abdominal pain, fevers, weight loss, cancer, sometimes abscesses in the liver or the brain. Many times carriers show no outward symptoms. Loa, the wanderer, spread by deer fly or mango fly bites through the skin and eyes, creating visible crawling sensations. Symptoms: itching, swelling, eye pain, fatigue, cognitive challenges. Pinworms, the night crawlers, the tiny white worms lay eggs around the anus while you sleep. Symptoms: anal itching, rash, restless sleep, irritability. Eggs spread easily via bedding and surfaces, survives up to 3 weeks in your bedding. How do you know you got them? You got itchy anus. Whipworm, the colon feeder, burrows into the colon tissues and feeds on blood, transmitted through contaminated soil, crops that are fertilized with human waste. Do you know a lot of crops are fertilized with human waste? It can lead to chronic diarrhea, anemia, and even colon cancer. Strongyloides. I'm just going to read a few more. Now, I'm not even going to read strongyloides. Let's go to this one, Pfiesteria. No. We'll go to this one. E. coli 157H7, the hidden food parasite, a deadly strain found in contaminated meat. Most of the meat might be contaminated. You just don't know it. Milk and produce. Symptoms: severe cramps, bloody diarrhea, fever, kidney failure, and death. Wash your hands and food carefully. Contamination spreads fast. Pfiesteria pizzicata, the cell from hell, a shape-shifting marine parasite linked to toxic algae blooms in ocean dead zones. Where do the ocean dead zones come from? The runoff from cattle farms, chicken farms, and pig farms. That wastewater runs off into these rivers and tributaries and things. Releases neurotoxins causing memory loss, respiratory disease, and neurological damage. Listeria. I talk about trichinella, the porky worms. Schistosomiasis mansoni, the blood flu. Blastocystis hominis, the multi-system. Wow. This is deep. I got to read a little bit of this. Y'all hold on for a minute. Just grab your mind. The multi-layered symptoms of parasitic infections: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and energetic. Parasites feed on more than food. They feed on energy, attention, and vitality. They can drain minerals from the blood, dull mental clarity, and distort emotional balance. Recognizing the full spectrum of their influence is the first step towards liberation. I know what a lot of people may be thinking. I'll just fast. Let me tell you something. And this is what a lot of folks get wrong. You cannot fast away parasites. They fast too. Even most of the herbs that you're taking that you were told kills parasites might only kill one of these if it lives in the colon or the digestive tract. Most of these parasites I'm talking about now are superbugs that live throughout the system. They're systemic parasites. You can't get rid of them with your simple little age-old cloves, wormwood, and pumpkin seeds. Those are good things. They're very good. I'm not talking about them in a disagreeable way. I'm saying that we're talking about systemic parasites. Listen to this. These are some of the symptoms. So, because, we're talking about disease tonight. This is about heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, super high blood pressure, mental disease, sexual dysfunction. I'm talking about it all right now. I'm dropping it all. What could be the root of it? Not covering up the symptoms, not trying to take just a few little herbs that you heard about that's supposed to be really good, or some packages was cheap when you went to Have Foods and you went to the checkout aisle and all of a sudden they had something for $9.99 that said it kills the parasites. The parasites are going to make you buy that. Physical symptoms: the body is a battlefield. Constant hunger, no appetite, weight changes, bloating, gas, cramps, constipation, anal itching, teeth grinding, drooling while asleep, sugar cravings, food sensitivities, bad breath, coated tongue. Muscular and skeletal, aches, weakness, joint pain, stiffness, twitching, crawling sensations, chronic soreness. Immune and inflammatory system. Frequent colds, allergies, rashes, eczema, swollen lymph nodes, low-grade fever, autoimmune system flare-ups. Neurological and sensory, headaches, being brain fog, dizziness, light sensitivity, tingling in the eyes, tingling in the ears, tingling in the skin, restless legs, poor coordination. Somebody here says, somebody's trying to say this fast with colloidal silver and atomic gold. Listen to me before you say these things. Be very careful. Because I can't go along with some of this stuff that y'all saying because you haven't scientifically studied it. When you give the parasites gold, they grow. They need gold too. They mimic you. Atomic gold does not kill parasites or bacteria. And what type of silver? Where's the colloidal silver from? Silver does not kill parasites. Silver might only kill a bacteria if it touches it. How are you getting that silver to your brain? How are you getting that silver to your heart? How much silver do you have to flood your entire system with this silver? Bacteria and parasites are two different things. So be very careful when we start offering these ideas about what's going to kill your bugs the easy way. Calm down, Dr. B. You know, I tell you to breathe, you breathe real quick. You're still mad. You're still angry. I'm not angry. I'm just, very intense right now. I got a book now that breaks it down. I'm going to tell you so many things in this book that can change your life if you could let go of your old mindset just for 1 minute, because what you think you learned was based on a system that is not accurate anymore. These are symptoms of parasites: hormone imbalance, PMS, infertility, low libido, sexual dysfunction, prostate or vaginal infections, anemia, puffy eyes, irregular heartbeat, blood sugar swings, liver tenderness, sleep fatigue, waking up every night between 2 and 3 a.m., night sweats, chronic exhaustion, low morning energy, itchy scalp, ears, rashes, acne, brittle nails, brittle hair, premature aging, premature body odor, mental emotional symptoms, brain fog, forgetfulness, poor circulation, confusion, mental fatigue, mood and personality, irritability, depression, anxiety, mood swings, hopelessness, emotional hypersensitivity, behavioral patterns, addictions, huge ego. People here and trying to tell you what you need to take. Listen to the professional, because I don't know how many of you have been in the lab and watched this stuff and see it actually happen, or seeing it in people, but it's happening in our society. This is huge. This is the modern day plague. Parasites. Nobody's talking about it on the news. Addictions, compulsive habits, procrastination, victim mindset, self-sabotage. This is symptoms of parasites. Social and relational issues, isolation, distrust, codependency, energetic drain after socializing, overreacting to small triggers, feeling wired but tired, random fear or dread, low motivation. I'm going to read just this section and we're going to leave this. Spiritual or energetic symptoms. The soul is under siege. Energetic signs of parasites: heaviness or fog, loss of inspiration, inner criticism, feeling drained after certain people or places, resistance to healing, guilt or shame loops, chaotic dreams, nightmares, daymares, sleep paralysis. Yes, some of that sleep paralysis is not the one that you think with the astral traveling. Some of that has got to do with parasites holding you down. Cold tingling sensations, dimming of the aura, holes in the aura, attraction to toxic people, repeating karmic loops, feeling fed upon by negativity, blocked intuition, creative stagnation, psychic interference, difficult manifesting goals, attraction to parasite systems, people who have parasites, social, spiritual, and attracted to energetic, social, spiritual, and personality defects. You're attracted to people like that. I need to tell you right now, this is why I created this special program called the Elevated Total Body Program. Actually, originally it was the Total Body Program, which is for systemic parasites. Then later we upgraded it and came up with what we call the Elevated Total Body Program to deal with superbugs. A lot of what we're dealing with is superbugs. And your age-old ideas about fasting, taking herbs that help to clean the colon, some of these colloidal silvers and this stuff does not deal, it can't touch the energetic field or the life force of a parasite. And I used to use a lot of those machines. You know, they've got these frequency machines to destroy parasites, right? Because they're all basing everything on Royal Rife. And Royal Rife in the lab, by the way, Royal Rife is the guy who invented the super electron microscope and not the electron microscope, but the microscope. And he did a lot of things. Royal Rife is an amazing guy. Look him up, Rife, like a rifle. But he created these machines to destroy cancer and some parasites. First of all, the machine was analog. So you can go buy machines now. They're digital. I'm talking about an analog machine as big as your bedroom with special frequencies and magnets and electroharmonic frequencies that could go and change the frequency of your body. He was so effective, they took him out. They took all of his equipment. So now we say, okay, we're going to use frequency. They got these little boxes that you can buy that's supposed to kill parasites. We took them in the lab. Some of this stuff that you're taking is actually increasing the life force energy of the parasites. The parasites are so intelligent. Some of them are as old as the planet. Some of these parasites are 2.5 billion years old. So they're controlling your thinking. Even what you're choosing, you think you're killing them when in fact they are having you clean up the environment so they can eat more. It takes 28 days to actually eradicate the average parasite. The average parasite, 28 days. Let's talk about circulation, cancer, blood sugar, memory loss, and sexual dysfunction for a second. Cancer. People ask all the time, Dr. B, what can I do to prevent cancer or to lessen the symptoms of what they're calling cancer? Because sometimes cancer is not even cancer. That's just what they call it. They collect a whole bunch of things together and say, we don't know what's happening. It's got a metabolic life force and it's passing, it's metastasizing from cell to cell. Cancer. Plastic. How much plastic is in your life? They're now saying that the average person is consuming about a credit card size of plastic a week. From containers that you store food in, what you drink in, if you're drinking out of plastic, if you're eating off of plastic, if you're wearing plastic, polyester clothes, if you're sleeping in polyester bed clothes, any polyester, any unnatural fiber is getting in your skin because whatever's on your skin and touches your skin is in your blood in 17 seconds. Plastic causes estrogen dominance. Too much estrogen in the body is one of the things that causes many cancers. So we got to figure out where's the estrogen dominance coming from. We got to balance out testosterone and the estrogen. Chemicals. How many chemicals are you using in your house just to clean your house? You could use just baking soda, borax, and vinegar and hydrogen peroxide. I mean, we may be talking about $20 worth of cleaners right now that may last you a month or two to clean your whole house and kill all the germs that you're worried about. But you'll use these chemicals with these colors, with these dyes. And if you read the container says that it kills not only the bugs, it kills you. Call the 800 number. Not for human, even Windex. Oop, did I say a name? I'm not supposed to say brand names. Oops. Sorry, Mr. Windex. Have you read Windex? Have you looked up the chemicals in Windex to clean the glass? It says you're not supposed to spray it. You're not supposed to smell it. The color looks funny. You probably shouldn't even look at it. What? Do you see that color in nature? You could use vinegar and paper towels to clean your windows, like Grandma did. What was wrong with that? How many chemicals are you using to clean your house? How many plug-it-ins do we have in these chemicals? Air fresheners. This is not freshening no air. Let's speak a little bit more intelligent, Dr. B. Don't talk like that. These chemicals that you're using in your house are not freshening the air. They're clogging up your olfaction system, shutting it down so that you can't breathe. And now you have these artificial smells, these artificial fragrances in your house that you're breathing so that you can make it feel cleaner and get rid of the funk. Let's go deal with the funk. What's making the house so funky? How many chemicals are you using on your skin? That's why the Flexner report was good, because since they got rid of all the natural medicines, they also got you using chemicals in your food, chemicals in everything. Everything, even a lot of this health stuff, this vegan stuff. I was in a health food store the other day. Some of this stuff is so processed. It went through a chemical, energetic process. It's chemistry, but it says natural on it. So you feel the word natural means that it came from nature. Not necessarily. It means that they may have originated with natural things, but now they've changed them and it's not natural things anymore. It's genetically modified, energetically modified, mentally modified organisms. This is what we have become. And we're going to change this starting tonight. Seasonal detoxification is important. Every time the seasons change, your energetic field changes, your frequency changes. So you got to change with the season. But first, you got to clean out the toxins, the parasites, and the waste material from the season before. Certain parasites only live during a certain season. So when you hear that an herb or a substance kills parasites, they are not telling you the whole truth, because which parasites are you talking about? There are thousands of parasites, maybe millions. We haven't even discovered them all. It's more parasites on the planet than anything else. And you're going to tell me these 4 or 5 herbs and this diatomaceous earth and this little substance kills them all. And somebody believes that. You really went along with that. It's great for the colon, probably. And colon parasites, yes, they need to go too. But it's about the systemic ones. They live throughout the system. And when you use chemicals, when you use plastic, when you use all of these artificial things, it weakens your immune system and strengthens the parasites. Are you aware of this? What's causing cancer? Most cancer, when they cut the cyst open, what do they find? Parasites. Toxins, fungus, chemicals, heavy metals, and plastic. Did you know that these superbugs create a protective cover, a coating, to protect them from harm? Did you know this? And the reason why you can't get to your average parasite, because first you have to dissolve the biofilm, which is a protective cover that also uses the plastics that you eat and every other toxic thing in its coating, and it makes a house. Most chemicals, most pharmaceuticals can't even get to the root because the parasites have biofilm. You tell me how cloves, wormwood, black walnut, diatomaceous earth, pumpkin seeds, and there's a bunch of other ones. Even the duck flower. I said, take duck flower, gets for everything. Listen, I didn't say it was not good. I'm saying that we're talking about systemic parasites. And first, you've got to figure out how to break down the biofilm. Before you can get to the parasite, you got to get to its protective covering. There's a whole science to how to break down a biofilm first. So seasonally, they create new protective coatings based on the season. And there's different parasites that pop up every season. There's parasites that's only happening now in the winter. They're online now. They're going to go to sleep in the spring, and another group wakes up in the spring, and they take over. Then they hand the baton to the summer parasites, which hand the baton to the fall parasites. They're changing constantly, and they're watching, reading, and sensing what you're trying to do to get rid of them, and they're mutating, and they're changing based on what you've been hitting them with. And if you're using the same stuff that you've been using since biblical days, whenever that is, when is biblical days? But since the old days, the parasites have a defense system, which is why the cleanse that we have created, the detoxification and rejuvenation program that we created, we have to change the herbs and the minerals and the flower essences and the essential oils every season. It's not the same because we really feel like we have to stay in front of them. Otherwise, we'll be behind them. What skin products are you using? What are you putting on your skin? Whatever you put on your skin is in your blood in 17 seconds. As soon as you rub it in, transdermally, it goes right to your system. Any natural products you're using on your skin? You know, what about a little coconut oil? Some folks like shea butter. You know, I love mixing, coconut oil and cacao butter. I love mixing those two together. It's really great for the skin. It smells wonderful too. Find natural skin products. If you go into a health food store, read the ingredients. Some of that stuff is not natural. Drinks. What are you drinking? It's got dye in it. What color is it? Does it look natural? You ever see anything natural that looks like that? It's in a can. It's in an aluminum can. Aluminum itself shuts down your nervous system. So a lot of things like MS and autoimmune system and even, what they're calling Alzheimer's and forgetfulness, a lot of this is caused by aluminum, which shorts out your nervous system. But inside the can is not just aluminum, because the drink or whatever's in that aluminum can, it has a coating between the aluminum and the liquid called plastic. So that aluminum can that you're drinking in is lined with plastic. If you have cancer, if cancer is quote unquote running in your family, because that's what you believe and that's what they've told you, and it may just be how you're living, then you've got to stop it right now and look at what you're drinking. What are you putting on your skin? Are you detoxifying yourself to the root seasonally? What chemicals are in the house? What plastics are you using? What plug-it-ins are you using? What are you using to shampoo the carpet? What are you washing your dishes with? What is the soap you're washing your body with? It sounds like a lot, Dr. B. It is. Because if you had your natural sense of disgust, which we were born with originally, which has been written out of our code now, because we've become, biological slaves. But originally, half this stuff you wouldn't do because you don't do this. But when you've lost your natural sense of disgust, please look up the natural sense of disgust. It's actually a psychological term in psychiatry. The lost sense of disgust. Look it up. We are not disgusted by some things that we do now. It's regular. This is what we do. This is what we do, Dr. B. Come on, get with it, man. This is 2026. You're way back in the day. You're old-fashioned. The old-fashioned folks usually are more natural, more simple, and healthier. And the people with the simplest diets on the planet usually are healthier. How stressed are you? This conversation, when I first heard this stuff, I was stressed out by the conversation. But guess what I started doing? Move past stress and move into action. Start getting rid of things in your house. Start cleaning up your house now. It's cleaning up your relationships. Watch what you're saying, what you're talking, because your words are all infected, all having an effect on the systems of your body, the humors. Your body is full of fluid. The humors are the different waters of your body. There's different fluids in your body. And information travels very well through liquid. So what you're saying about yourself, what you're thinking about yourself is also causing chemistry and stress and causing you to what? Go into fight or flight. You may think, well, I'm just talking about the problems in the world. If you're talking about the problems in the world all day, you're causing your cells to spin backwards. Cells that spin backwards or have a reverse field of energy, it's called cancer. Cancer is like the crab. It goes retrograde when the cell is moving retrograde. See, the crab doesn't walk forward. The crab walks to the side or backwards. Retro means the past. Grade means movement. Cancer is a retrograde movement of the body's energy, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then the parasites come and they love it because now your body's a toxic soup and they just eat, and eat. And don't think we're going to let the electronics off the hitch here. Yeah, I'm about to give you, somebody said, well, what are the steps? I'm about to give it all to you in just a few seconds. Just hold on. Electronics. I got a whole chapter about the electronics. It's a whole chapter called Mimesis. No, that's not the name of the chapter. Dr. B, you don't even know the name of your own chapters. Chapter 17, linguistic parasites. And in there, yeah, there's language parasites too. You really need to look at that because I show you how to consciously change your language so you don't eat yourself alive. It's something called the mimesis paradox. Part of that has to do with the way you're mimicking your life to do what everybody else does. Everybody else is using AI this way. They say, if I don't use AI, I won't have a job. And you believe that. If I don't do what they tell me to do, I'm not going to be able to be valid anymore. That's mimicking, like the 100th monkey theory. Look that up, the 100th monkey theory. I'm not going to get into that today. We'll get into that in some of our other talks. We're copying. We're following the rest of the sheep. And most of the sheep are asleep. You've got to wake up. And in order to wake up, we got to stop using electronics so habitually. We've got to have time off of these devices, time away from them. Going out in nature is one of the best ways to detox from I'm not saying don't use technology. I'm not saying don't use AI. I'm saying don't let AI and these electronics use you because this drug, they're like drugs, they're parasites. This is why so many people have cancer. Because of the plastic, the chemicals, the seasonal detoxification that they may not be doing, the skin products, the drinks, the stress, the electronics. Now, there's other things, okay? They're spraying the air. Yes, you're spraying stuff on the lawn to kill bugs. You know, we got stuff we spray on the crops so that the crops don't get eaten by bugs, but then we're eating that, and then it's eating us, and then we're feeding a system that creates fungi. The basis of cancer is estrogen dominance, fungus, and parasites. Circulation. Walking is important. How often do you walk? Walk. And not just walk through the grocery store, walk to the mall. Walk. And after you eat, walk at least 100 steps. 100 steps. You can just walk back and forth from your house or in your apartment or outside. 100 steps helps you digest your food because it helps circulation, because most of your circulatory system sends its interest or its vibration to the gut when you eat. So eating takes precedence over everything. So your body is not circulating the same way because it's trying to digest. And a lot of folks are eating food that's not digestible. And if you're eating food that takes more energy to digest than it can give to your stomach or to your body, then you're in an energy deficit. You're starving. What's amazing is that we've done this to ourselves and we're still here. Now, we're not living like we could, because we could live to be 150 years old or more. Some of those cells, and we have these immortal cells right in our body that only die or only stop working because we're feeding them, or we're not feeding ourselves, we're eating ourselves, we're destroying our lives. That's what the book, What's Eating You is about. Walk after you eat so you can move the energy. And just that vibration of walking, moving your spine, that sway that starts happening. Somebody said, well, Dr. B, I can't walk. I'm in a wheelchair. Well, just do it. Your arms become your legs. There is a way. Even if you just can't do anything, just imagine you're walking after you're eating. There was a guy I was dealing with. He was morbidly overweight. And he told me, says, Dr. B, well, can I just imagine exercising? I said, bro, you've been doing that a long time, because he watches sports. I'm like, we got to do a little more than that. But yeah, that's just, a little side thing. Water, put Celtic sea salt. So here's my water tonight. I'm drinking it in a copper bottle. I have little granules of Celtic sea salt. Why Celtic sea salt? Because it's softer. And the minerals are more readily available in Celtic sea salt. Now, there's other salts you could use, but Celtic sea salt for me is the one that I feel the electrical energy because you're putting electricity, making the water electric. If you're drinking just spring water, distilled water, and if you're drinking that, what they call it, alkaline water, it's lifeless. You just ripped all the life force out of it with these electrical impulses to make it quote unquote alkaline. So we went for that. Oh boy, I drink alkaline water. It ain't natural. That's a whole nother talk. I don't want to get too deep into that because some folks start getting a little angry. Dr. B, I don't know why you're messing with me. I'm telling you some truth and letting you allow yourself to find out what's true for you. If you don't believe it, okay. If you're not down with this, maybe Dr. B is crazy. I have. In the book, I tell you why and how I've had breakdowns and things have happened to me that is unexplainable, and I'm still out there. But I'm also here to give people some things that can help them think in a different way. Ginger. How many of y'all eat ginger? I saw a guy on the internet the other day. He's eating whole ginger, just eating that. His eyes ain't even watering. This is a bad dude right here, but he's huge. He's strong because ginger makes you strong. Ginger moves your energy. Fresh ginger, not some little ginger powder. They got some ginger powder at the store. Powdered ginger. Well, how did you do that? What about just getting the ginger? Put ginger in your tea. Tonight I made some hibiscus ginger drink. I just put the hibiscus in water, the hibiscus flowers, which has a lot of vitamin C, a lot of bioflavonoids. It's got life force energy in it, the flowers of the hibiscus plant. Just put it in water in a big pitcher, about 3 big handfuls, and just let it sit. And it turns this beautiful color. And the color, certain colors of fruits and vegetables and foods, if they're like purple or dark, some almost like dark blue or reddish, they have this far infrared light. And far infrared light helps to ignite your cells, life force. So ginger, I put with the hibiscus. After I made the hibiscus tea, you don't even have to heat it. You can just let it be cool because then it saves all the essential oils. Pour it in a blender, drop a big piece of ginger in there, grind it up, then pour it through a strainer into a glass. You don't even have to sweeten it. It's going to be a little bitter, but bitter is better. Bitter is better. Cayenne pepper. You've got to move energy. Cayenne pepper opens up your blood vessels so that the energy can circulate through your body. Eat cayenne. You could take cayenne capsules, the hottest ones, the African bird pepper. You can take that with your food when you eat because it's really hot. So in a capsule, it's easier. But put cayenne on your food. And we're not just talking about, regular hot sauce. Because some of that hot sauce is so processed, it's been sitting up in the store for who knows. Hawthorn berries, very good for the heart. Hawthorn leaves, very good for the heart. Beetroot juice. You can take the beetroot and do the same thing with the ginger. Beetroot opens up your blood vessels. It helps your body breathe more. You're going to have to get organic dark beets. Organic dark beets. Iron. Your body needs iron. Without iron, you're not strong. You can't stay focused and your body cannot heal. And the average person in North America is anemic. There's not enough, iron in the soil. So where are you getting it from? Celery juice. Celery juice is very good. Celery juice, if you look at the celery, it looks like the nervous system. It looks like the circulation system also. Plus, celery has nicotine. You heard me. Nicotine is very important for your nervous system. I'm not telling you to go smoke cigars and tobacco because I don't know where it's coming from and how many chemicals have been put on it, because the average tobacco has 3,000 chemicals. I'm not saying the smoke is good for your lungs. I'm not saying that. That's up to you. I'm talking about pure nicotine or nicotana is a powerful medicine. We're going to have a whole talk about that coming soon. So make sure you get on the email list so you can hear about the things that are coming up. Krill oil. Where's my krill oil? I got my krill oil right here. Krill oil is omega-3 fatty acids. Krill oil. This is what the whales eat. How are they so big? They get the krill oil from certain little planktons in the ocean. Let's keep going because time is almost up. Blood sugar issues. Domesticated animal fat. Domesticated animal fat and the processing and the chemicals they use in the domestication of process, factory farming, clogs up the body. It really clogs up the pancreas, the islets, which have to help to regulate and process the amount of sugar in your system. Your body gets to a point where if the pancreas isn't working right, it can't recognize sugar, so it doesn't know how to process it. So you have this free sugar just floating through your system, which begins to fry your nervous system and cook your brain. Yes. They didn't tell you that. They told you it was diabetes came from eating too much sugar. No, that's not the issue. It's the domesticated animals. So go find some natural animals. Go eat maybe some bison, animals that grow naturally or live naturally in the world. That's a whole nother class. Berberine. Taking berberine before you eat. 15 minutes. Do I have my berberine here? Where's my berberine? Did I bring my berberine here? No, I didn't. Before you eat, 15 minutes before you eat, take berberine. Berberine helps to tell your body how to regulate sugar. Berberine. Inositol or inositol. Inositol, I think I have my inositol here. Where's my inositol? I like Jarrow. I love the company Jarrow. I went and met them and met one of the scientists there many years ago in Los Angeles. These people are trying to help people for real. But inositol, what this does to help your cell membranes function and help your body deal with sugar is amazing. Also, it keeps you calm and balanced. You feel good about life. You feel this joy. Inositol. Okay. That really helps with blood sugar issues. Boron, the mineral boron is extremely important because you're not getting enough boron, and boron helps to regulate your hormones. Vitamin D3, which you can get from sunflower seeds if you can eat enough of them natural, raw. Vitamin D3 is very important for your body to convert sunlight into sugars, sunlight into energy. Without enough vitamin C, the body can't operate. And it's best if you can get the vitamin, let me see, where is it? It's vitamin D3 with K2, vitamin D with vitamin K. I don't have enough time to get into that. I'm just giving you things that you can use really quickly to help regain your health or stay healthy. Memory loss, nicotine. Huh? Nicotine. I have on a nicotine patch right now. No, Dr. B, what are you talking about? I smoked when I was 16 for about 6 months and my lips turned black. My breath tilts. So I woke up with tar on my pillow and I said, this ain't for me. Nicotine is not what you think. I want you to go do some research on natural nicotine from the soil. Your body has nicotine receptors. If you don't have enough nicotine, your nervous system begins to harden and calcify. We have clients who have had memory loss, what they're calling dementia and things like that. And we put them on a special protocol, and part of it is nicotine. I can't tell you the whole protocol right now because the black helicopters or the new ones that are invincible will come after me. So I'm just going to tell you, do some research on natural nicotine, which real quick, eggplant, high amounts of nicotine. Tomatoes, high amounts of nicotine. Celery, high amounts of nicotine. Do those cause cancer? Do they have you hooked? Are you fiending for celery? Running around robbing folks for celery? No, it's a natural thing. Also, vitamin B complex is very important for your nervous system. Krill oil, once again. Vitamin D3. Look out for plastic because that plastic gets lodged in your nervous system and in your brain, and it will fry and calcify your brain. Oil. What kind of oil are you cooking with? What oil are you putting on your skin? If you're using sunflower oil to cook with, who told you? Wow. Have you seen some of the oils in the natural foods? Let's just talk about olive oil. This is a really good oil. Coconut oil, very good oil. I want somebody in the audience to tell me what oil is in almost all the health food that's toxic. Somebody said, how long should we use the patch? If you would like a consultation, I am doing consultations again. You would give us a call, or actually go to the website elevationtime.com. Get on the email list, number one. Number two, you can find me and say that you'd like to get a consultation. There's a phone number and everything on the website. And if you'd like to get a consultation, I can talk to you about your personal situation. I cannot sit here and try to prescribe to you, because I'm not a medical doctor, how much or how long you should do anything. I'm just giving you information that could be very good. And some folks are calling asking, how do I get the things from the shots out of my body? We have a system. I'm going to give you a part of it in just a few minutes, how to get all those toxins and things out of your body over a 1 to 2 month period. The body heals in 28-day cycles. The oil that most people are using in food, that's in most health food, that is toxic. Who knows what it is? Citrulloline, CDP. This is very good because this helps to citrulloline is very good to keep the brain flexible so that it doesn't harden. It helps the nervous system and the neurons fire. It's a special type of supplement. Citrulloline, very good for people who are having memory loss. And CoQ10. Go research these things. Sexual dysfunction. Now this is going to have to be a whole class. In fact, we're talking about doing some more work around this subject, because a lot of folks are having sexual dysfunction, mental dysfunction, and depression. Did you know that because people have been told that sex is dangerous and so many diseases that you could catch from having sex, this is what you've been told. Like a client called me the other day and says, he dated outside of his marriage and caught herpes in one night. I said, well, did she have herpes? Well, no, she said she didn't. I said, well, do you even know what herpes is? Well, what is it? I said, it's chickenpox. Did you have the chickenpox vaccination? Yes. Did you have chickenpox? Yes. I said, well, you had it already. It's just a combination of the virus that you got from chickens, which is one of the avian viruses, which is in chicken. Y'all love chicken. Along with fungus and yeast in the body gone wild, and parasites. We have a whole herpes program. It's a 4-month program to help the body release what you're calling herpes. If you're interested, you can, hit us up, and if you'd like a consultation, it's best to do a consultation. I haven't done consultations in a while because I was too busy, but I've taken some special time to help y'all if you're interested, because I've decided to expand what I'm doing. Be patient. We may not get to you for a little while. There's a lot of people calling. There's a lot of energy, especially since the book came out. What's Eating You? The phones are ringing off the hook. What does that mean, and ringing off the hook? Anyway, there's a lot of things we say. But we are supposed to have a certain amount of sex and sexual connection and nurturing to be healthy. I know some of y'all, oh boy, but I heard, and I'm not messing around with nobody until blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to tell you scientifically, a human or a person is supposed to have a certain amount of intimacy to stay healthy. But then there's a part where you go too far and you're wild and you can't stop. Some men are having the problem where they can't get it together. So there's a product that we have called Rise and Shine. What helps men get it together right away. Yeah, get it together right away. But if you're dating somebody and going out with somebody and you're doing the cleanse together, and both people are doing the total body or the elevated total body program, y'all can get as busy as you need to, because you're not cross-contaminating each other. But while you're on the program, you got to be careful, because you'll easily cross-contaminate. So a lot of your sexual, what you call sexually transmitted diseases, are actually other illnesses in the body that are just moving from person to person. Or somebody said it, some people just gross, and your gut told you not to be with this person. So let's not just run out and just be wild. I'm saying that if you're looking for the best love of your life, first let's detoxify from parasites, and then let's talk about getting involved in some sacred sexuality. Okay, we'll be talking about that again soon. But sexual dysfunction is a mental, physical, spiritual dysfunction on many levels. On the 1st of March, which is coming soon, we're going to be live in Atlanta, Georgia, doing Unlocking Divinity Codes. It's a workshop. It's a whole day of classes and workshops to tell you how to get rich, how to create your own bank. I'm breaking out a new instrument, introducing a new instrument called the Medicine Drum 2, which is a glass, it's a wood that's made of a very special type of, how should I say, cellular structure. It's made with silica. And when you hear the tone, it's going to change your life, just listening to this drum. And I will be offering this drum to those of you who would like to have one of these healing drums. And all you got to do is sit it in your house. You don't even have to play it. But if you do play it, it shifts your energy on such a level. There's nothing like it. It's a special musical scale. It took many years for me to develop this, and we finally have it. It will be introduced at the Divinity Codes Conference, which is happening on March 1st, live in Atlanta. There's 200 seats available. I don't even know if actually, I shouldn't say there's 200. There's only 200 seats. And I talked to Billy, and he says the seats are going fast. Folks want to be here. This is like God Power 3. So we're going to have exercises. We're going to have things that you can do to help change your life. I'll be there doing a book signing. I think Billy's going to have books. You're going to meet some amazing people. There's never been an event quite like this. And if you can't make it physically, there will be an online version of this event. So go to Divinity Codes, unlockdivinitycodes.com, unlockdivinitycodes.com, and, sign up today. The Total Body Paracleanse System. I should say the Elevated Total Body Program. This is for your average systemic parasites. This has a lot of the ingredients, a lot of the things that I mentioned are in the program. That's why it's just not a couple bottles that kill parasites. You've got to balance the blood sugar. You've got to work on the reproductive system. You've got to detoxify the parasites that live in your mouth. You've got to rejuvenate the liver, kidneys, and spleen. You've got to do all this together at one time. Otherwise, the parasites know that you're trying to kill them. You also have to have a graduated step approach, which happens over a 28-day period. And that is the Elevated Total Body Program. The Elevated Total Body Program also deals with systemic spiritual parasites, emotional parasites, and that's a whole nother thing. How do you deal with them? Well, guess what? You're going to need to use essential oils, certain ones, flower essences, certain ones, certain plants that are very rare, that are used in indigenous cultures all over the world. They're in the Elevated Total Body Program. So it's dealing with mental, physical, and spiritual parasites on a certain level, especially your physical ones, including the one called toxoplasma, which is what has got people doing what they're doing and being what they're being. And they're what? They're being eaten alive by their own mindset and the programming that we've got ever since this Flexner report and some of the people that control the world. They know that this parasite works with them to keep you from ever being who you should be. Please look up toxoplasma and you'll find out that 70% of the people have this parasite. Not toxoplasmosis. That's a different one. They're related, but toxoplasma is the one that controls most people's minds and keeps you in fear and inferior. Okay? So right now it's on sale. If you want a discount code, then I'm going to give you a 20% off discount code it's good until Sunday. It's called The Book. That's the discount code. The Book. The Book. All one word is your 20% off discount code at elevationtime.com. I'm going to keep going because we're way over time. There's the Total Body Program, which is a program which doesn't deal with the spiritual and the superbugs and toxoplasma, but it deals with most of your superbugs. I mean, not your superbugs, your average systemic parasites. And remember, the difference between this program and these programs is the systemic part. Systemic means throughout the system. I'm going to keep going. Iron essential. Remember, I talked about iron. Almost every disease state is because of a lack of iron. That's a big piece of it. Anemia. You don't have enough iron to fire up your cells, so your cells are not strong. So you're going to have anemia problems when your energy is low. You got mood swings. You know, your whole body is just off because you don't have enough iron, and your body needs iron to be healthy. Heaven on earth is for your nervous system. You got to calm down. You got to relax. How am I going to relax? There's so much stuff going on. Take heaven on earth. You'll relax. And all of a sudden, you'll be in heaven. You'll feel good. You'll sleep good. People will try to cuss you out, and you just look at them and smile, and you'll say, I don't have time for this. I've created heaven on earth. And for anybody that's dealing with nervous system issues and even the brain issues, heaven on earth is essential. Focus. You're going to have to focus on what you desire, who you are, where you're going, why you're doing it. Even reading the book, you use focus so that you can read really clearly. Because, the first time, just read the book. Don't try to stop and study and do any type of, what do you do when people start, trying to underline sections of the book? Just read the book first, then come back and slowly read through it, because you're going to see that what I'm saying and what I'm giving you in the book and what I'm offering changes over time as you read it, because it's reprogramming your subconscious. Focus helps you focus and become clear about you and your purpose. Platinum Life Elixir is for your pineal gland. It also helps to activate the pineal, but also rejuvenating your telomeres, which help to keep you young, helps your cells rejuvenate themselves and heal quicker. And the main thing that it does is it helps to detoxify heavy metals. It's a very special thing to detoxify heavy metals. And I keep hearing that there's certain plants that do it. What's the one that a lot of folks say they use? I can't even think of the name of it. They use it in Mexican food. Anyway, you have to eat a truckload of that. It does do it, but you need to eat a lot of it all day. So we created this product along with Dick Gregory many years ago to help rejuvenate the pineal, which has to do with you seeing things on the event horizon, for you knowing things within your own self. Okay. Knowing things within yourself before they happen. That's what they call precognition and being focused. Cilantro. Thank you very much, Philly Cat. Cilantro. You'd have to eat a whole lot of cilantro to pull out your heavy metals. It can be done, but you're going to need things like fulvic acid, humic acid, M-state elements. That's gold, iridium, palladium, platinum, silver, all those in a high spin state to activate your nervous system and your what they call your magnetosphere. So go to elevationtime.com right now, elevationtime.com, and you'll see many of the products. Make sure you sign up for the event that is happening on March 1st here in Atlanta. It's nothing that you're ever going to get in your life that's going to be as powerful as this. A lot of people became very wealthy from God Power 1 and God Power 2. Some of them are online here and started whole new businesses because the shift happens at a cellular level. The divinity code is a piece of information, a computer code that's locked down in your mitochondria. We have figured out how to unlock the divinity code, unlock the mitochondria so that you could start living the life you came to live. People are asking, how much vitamin D? If I start subscribing and prescribing like that, you're going to get me in trouble. If you'd like a consultation, go to elevationtime.com and be ready to invest in yourself. I set it up where, we figure out what days you're available and if you're interested. And also we can do a group consultation over the phone, right on the, we can do like what do you call it? A Zoom. I actually do consultations for whole groups or families. We do it right on the phone so everybody in your group could get the same information. And when we're doing that, I can actually tell you how much of something to take, when to take it. But no matter what, start with the elevated total body program. Where do I start, Dr. B? First, we got to get rid of these parasites. And that program is a 28-day program. You have to dedicate yourself. It's a guide in there of a nutritional chart of how to eat, all in that program, the Elevated Total Body Program, or at least the Total Body Program right now at elevationtime.com. And use the discount code. The discount code is the book. That will be good until Sunday. Okay? Let me see. What do you have for blood flow? The Elevated Total Body Program is going to help deal with everything, because we can't make more blood flow if you got the congestion caused by parasites. So this is why a lot of supplements that could work don't work, because the parasites are getting them. The parasites are eating them, or the parasites are the root of your issue. Almost every disease you can think of starts with systemic parasites, toxins, and funguses, right? This parasite cleanse helps to deal with all of that. It's the root. So no matter what you do, I would start with an Elevated Total Body Program. Start there. Okay? Whew. Yeah, it's deep. So we're way over time. I was only supposed to go an hour and a half, but it got fun. Anyway, the book is What's Eating You. It's available now. Go to elevationtime.com. There's many options that you can purchase, many different ways you can purchase the book. But just by purchasing the lesser expensive book, just the single paperback, you're going to get 2 medicine music songs. You're going to get 2 pieces of music that you could play. One of them is the new version of I Allow, which is tuned to these new frequencies I just discovered. It's remastered, it's redone, and it's in full high definition. We're now putting out music in full high definition, moving away from the MP3s, but we have to sometimes use MP3s if you want it through an email. But there will be something we'll be announcing soon where you'll be able to get everything in high definition. So the book, What's Eating You, is out now worldwide. It is already at our website, a bestseller. So get them as soon as you can. And you're also going to get a download of a couple of amazing pieces of music. And there is a version of the book that you can get, the audio book. You can receive the audio book, a energetic signature where we impress this signature into the book, and energy, the Dr. B energy will be in the book. You'll also receive, I said the audio book, but you'll also receive a 22 song soundtrack, 7 hours of medicine music. It's called the Dr. B's Medicine Music Collective Special Edition. That is one of the offers that we have on the website right now. That's the big one. That's for folks who are ready to really invest in themselves. Get yourself a cleanse, detoxify, listen to some beautiful music, make some beautiful love. And if you haven't got anything good to say about somebody, then be quiet. Because one of the number one parasites is the linguistic parasite. And it's causing you to talk yourself to death. Thank you very much. On Saturday, y'all, at 11 o'clock, we'll be going back to the book. I'll be reading from the book, What's Eating You. The chapter we're going to be reading from is, which chapter is it? Dreaming Awake. Dreaming Awake. I'm going to read from that chapter. The concept of dreaming awake is really interesting. So I'll see you guys on Saturday. You gals too. You people. You got to be careful today. I don't know what people are. Can't say you guys anymore. What you say matters. I'll see y'all. How's that? On Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And go sign up and subscribe on our website. Also become a member on our website so you can get 10% off of everything you purchase from now on. And also subscribe at YouTube. Subscribe to our channel so you'll get notifications about the things that we've got coming. A lot is happening, y'all. Let's tap in. It's 2026. This is the gateway year for you to change your whole life. Let's do this. I'll see y'all on Saturday. Much love, much harmony. Find yourself. The purpose that you have is written into your cells. If you'd like a consultation, go to elevationtime.com and send us a message, and we can talk to you about your personal, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. I love you all. Thank you very much. Travel light And this is it, y'all. It's elevation time.
I allow myself to be my best self, to be creative and to let go.